Good afternoon. It is 2 o'clock on December 3rd. I'm calling the meeting of the Frederick County Board of Elections to order. Let's please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We do have a quorum with all members of the board present. Ted Nees, Shirley McDonald, Nate Wilson, Michael Sowell. We also have present Dan Loftus, counsel, and is MC Keegan-Air with us?
No, she's not.
She is?
No.
Okay, and County Council Liaison, MC Keegan-Air. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
I'd like to request an addition to the agenda for discussion of the State of Maryland document that's available on the Frederick County Board of Elections website. It's entitled Maryland.
Is this under new
business?
New business, yes. And would you repeat for me, please?
Discussion and request in regards to the Maryland State document that's available on the Frederick County Board of Elections website entitled Assignment of Local Board of Elections Duties to Members of the Local Board, the Election Director, and staff.
I didn't get all that. When we get there, you'll repeat it
Yes.
for me. Thank you. Any other additions or changes to the agenda? Then are there any additions or changes to the minutes of the November 5th meeting? If not, can I please have a motion to accept the minutes as written?
I just wanted to point one thing out. In the council liaison comments, there's a statement that says no election equipment was provided by Frederick County, and then a little later it says that we provided precinct registers, which is an equipment, voting booths, and supplies. So I'm
What page
I
is
think
this?
I know what you got. It's on the top of the second page.
Okay.
I think I know what
So,
the minutes are trying to say, but
no
it's kind of
election
clunky.
equipment, so no, you want to make it,
I think you're trying to say there was
Yeah.
no poll books.
right, the
Or-
city procured their own poll books and leased
Right.
voting equipment and drop boxes. So, we didn't
We
provide
didn't provide that,
that,
so.
okay.
Okay.
Did you want to change anything, Mr. Neal?
I just wanted to point out it was kind of clunky, and for the folks present that what it actually says is that we didn't provide the actual election equipment. The voting booths are just sort of, that's support equipment.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah. But we-
So we can approve as written?
Yeah.
Can I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The minutes are approved. Council liaison comments, MC?
She's not with us.
Not here yet, okay. Board council report, Mr. Loftus?
Thank you, Madam President. Two cases, and I'll talk about the Bryson v. Moore lawsuit. As you know, the circuit court dismissed that case. This is where the unaffiliated voters sought to enjoin the primary. Well, we've been told that the plaintiffs intend to appeal, but we haven't heard anything about it yet. The second case, the Della case, this is in the Fourth Circuit, and this is the case where the plaintiffs are wanting to enjoin Maryland from using mail-in ballots. Right now, we're just waiting for oral argument or a decision from the Fourth Circuit, and that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Mr. Loftus. Any questions for council?
Madam President, County Council liaisons with us.
Okay, MC Keegan-Air, would you like to report anything from the council?
Can't hear you. Can't hear him.
Okay. We'll come back to her if needed. Great. Any questions for the council liaison? Thank you very much. And election director's report, Ms. Wagner.
Good afternoon, everybody. Announcements and important meetings. Tomorrow we will be hosting the Western Region Local Board Best Practices. We'll have folks from Allegheny, Garrett, Howard, Washington County, and then we all come together and we kind of put out our best practices and things for the upcoming election. So we will be doing that tomorrow. On the 18th, change appeals are due to the budget office, so we are submitting that. We will have one change appeal to submit. Voter registration, we have 392 active voters. The Democratic Party has 78,643. The Republicans 69,264. Lib unaffiliates 57,178. In the month of November, we had some additions to the county registration system, 884 additions. There was 778 subtractions from the rolls. Party affiliation changes, we looked at we changed 308 records. Address changes within the jurisdiction, 1,245 updates were made to records, and 536 name changes. In the administration division, the office is currently in the process of onboarding a new IT employee and will soon be recruiting for a new election judge specialist position. We are also continuing to prepare and process candidate filings until the February 2026 deadline. And we, as I said before, we're preparing the FY27 budget. All staff are in compliance with all state and county training deadlines. That has been done in voting systems. The voting systems division has successfully completed state mandated testing and certification for the Jackery Explorer 2000 portable power stations. That's a lot. But basically, if anything happens at one of the polling places and we lose power, we will put those Jackery stations out there, so we will always maintain power and the integrity of the election to keep on going. So we have several of those systems available, and we are charging them and keeping them charged and putting them in the warehouse. We have completed the electronic poll book battery testing. We've also are on a new cycle of charging for the DS200 precinct scanners and VMDs. As of November 20th, 2025, the Frederick County Board of Elections has submitted the 2026 polling place plan to the state of Maryland for their approval. That approval probably won't happen until January, and we may have some changes, as we have just heard from FCPS, that they'll have 2 schools that we use that will be under construction for the primary. So we're looking at Twin Ridge and Hillcrest. So, voter registration division completed all their audits. They completed the DHMH report, all the ERIC reports. Staff are reviewing and updating SOPs as needed, and they had a scheduled meeting on today, I guess. Was it today? Yes. And anything happened in that mayor meeting? Nothing to report. Okay. The electronic, the election judge division, the election judge open house is scheduled for Saturday, January 24th. We have some flyers up here. The first event was very successful. We got a lot of applications, and so we're looking to do a Saturday and hopefully attract more people. So that will be in January. We are also still looking at recruitment ideas, early voting outreach ideas. We are contacting the libraries. We have some events at schools, and we are doing some local media as well, recruiting election judges throughout. Right now, the total election judge applications as of December 1st was 412. Of those 412, 294 are returning judges. And the breakdown includes Democrats, 212, Republicans, 124, unaffiliated, 71, and others, 5. And the last thing is, in building management, they conducted a fire drill. It was successful. And also in this building, all these lights are being swapped out to LED. Jeremy?
Hopefully.
Hopefully?
Yep, very soon.
Very soon. They are redoing this whole building and swapping out all the lights to LED. And that concludes my report.
Questions for the director? Thank you, Ms. Wagner. Presentation on voter evaluation, voter education.
Yes, Tony Beard is our MIV and candidate filing guru. So she's going to give you a short presentation on candidate filing.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tony Beard, and I will be doing a presentation on candidate filing for 2026. Please note that the board can review this presentation entirely later. Thanks. The certificate of candidacy for an individual who will appear on the primary ballot for an elective office must be filed in person at Frederick County Board of Elections. Frederick County has candidate packages and requirements for positions listed. Candidate filing began February 25th, 2025, and ends February 24th, 2026 at 9 p.m. Listed are also important dates and guidelines regarding candidacy. Please note that these dates could change because of legislation. How to obtain a package and file for candidacy. A candidate can choose to go online and print the required documents from the state board's website, or they can come into the office and pick up a candidate package. Walk-ins are welcome. However, it is best to make an appointment once documents are completed. Candidate filing is a long process. It can take up to an hour. Our office must verify each of the documents that a candidate presents to us. To help reduce time, a candidate can pre-file by emailing required documents in advance to our office. On the day of visit, we ask that the candidate bring in all original and signed documentation. Candidate package requirements. When collecting the filing, there are a few things a candidate must present to us. The first document is a candidate information sheet. This form collects personal and professional details about a candidate. It also includes contact information, the name as it should appear on the ballot, and other details for election purposes. 2, an affidavit of alternate name. This is a legal document where an individual swears under oath that they are commonly known by that name, different from their legal name. 3, we also ask for a witness affidavit. It is a statement of fact that a witness has personally sworn to or to be true before a notary and another authorized officer. It serves as a sworn testimony outside of court. Candidate Campaign Committee. The campaign committee must be established by a candidate before filing a certificate of candidacy. Each candidate must establish an authorized campaign committee by filing a statement of organization with the state. A candidate can go online to campaignfinance.maryland.gov to set up their campaign finance committee. It teaches candidates how to enter contributions, record expenditures, and file a campaign finance report using MD-CRIS. Also, a statement of organization is a legal document that provides information about the organization, its structure, and its purpose. The statement of organization must be signed by the candidate, treasurer, and chairperson. Financial disclosure and instructions. Financial disclosures are required by the law for county, state, and judicial, and the Board of Education positions. The campaign finance report is a disclosure document that provides transparency by showing where campaign money comes from, how it's spent. This allows the public to see how a campaign is financed and to hold it accountable. When a candidate comes to file, we must make sure that the candidate has filed for a campaign committee and is not a treasurer for another committee by checking in the Maryland Campaign Reporting Information System, also known as MD-CRIS. We also want to check and make sure that the campaign is in good standing, reports are filed, and no late fees are owed. If there are any late fees or problems, Frederick County Board of Elections contact State Board for guidance. This will speak to the candidate and decide as to what action should be taken. Lastly, the filing fee. The filing fee for Frederick is $25 for most offices and $10 for central committee candidates. The exact fee is payable by cash, money order, or check, which is payable to Frederick County Board of Elections. This concludes my presentation of candidate filing, and I'd like to thank Brian and the board for its time. Thank you.
Any questions? Any questions? Thank you very much. In old business, the fiscal year 27 budget request update.
Thank you, Madam President and Board. Good afternoon. Just to follow up last month's meeting, Staff has submitted our base change requests ahead of the November 18th deadline. And a summary of those requests includes a 5% increase in our printing and postage budget lines to keep pace with the growth in the county and pricing increases for those services. As mentioned in the November meeting, we have requested an $8,500 increase in legal services to address previously unbudgeted requests made to the board needing legal opinion. We are requesting the continuation of a licensing agreement for our drop-off security cameras and office platforms. That amount is just shy of $14,000. There is a request to address state payroll budget with a 3% increase, which would reflect COLAs received by state employees for the past 2 years. And lastly, for base changes, we have now a reallocation request, taking $4,000 from the fleet expense line and placing that into the mileage expense line to reflect actual expenditures in the mileage. Reallocations are a net zero change to our budget. So as we mentioned, going into this month, staff is looking at requesting a change appeal for an additional full-time employee. We are putting together a request to address the continued growth in the county, as well as an increased need for better statistical information that may lead us to process improvements. Change appeals are funding requests for something beyond the normal base budget. Those requests are due to the budget office on or before December 18th. And in next month's board meeting, we will confirm our submissions of any change appeals.
Any questions for him? Thank you, Tom. And new business, Nate?
Yes, so I'd like to just discuss and make a request for our next meeting. But there's a document on that's produced by the state of Maryland that's on the Frederick County Board of Elections website. It's entitled Assignment of Local Board of Elections Duties to Members of the Local Board, the Election Director, and Staff. At the bottom of page 3, there is a line, Election Law 10-201, recruit, assign, train, and pay appointed election judges marked as the responsibility of the election director. And then on the 4th page, top row, Election Law 10-203, appoint election judges based on election director's recommendation, responsible party being the local board of election board members. I'd like to gain a better understanding of that process as we go into 2026 and request a report from staff just on how they plan to handle those two assignments for the 2026 election, and maybe have a discussion next month.
Can you give me those numbers again?
So it's Election Law 10-201
Yeah.
and 10-203.
Sure.
Great, thank you.
Any other comments? Thank you, Mr. Olson. Any disclosures this month? Okay, the scheduling of the next meeting is scheduled for January 7th. Is that date available for everyone? Okay, the next meeting will be on January 7th. And it's now time for public comment. First of all, Mr. Kaminsky.
Thank you. I'm going to hand out to you guys the EW 016 report. I only made 7 copies. Yeah.
We can share. Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I hope you're all aware that a Public Information Act request was submitted requesting the election judge parity for 2024 general election. Many Republicans have long felt that the parity on the election day is disproportionately skewed towards the Democrats in Frederick County. This is a top of public comment for more than a year now. Secure the Vote MD requested parity reports from every jurisdiction in the state of Maryland. They received a handful of responses. One of the responses is in front of you from Baltimore County Board of Elections. The document was generated using MD voters. The form is called the EW-016 report. This report is not used by Frederick County. We don't know why you're not using it, but other counties are, and we're hoping that you'll look at this report and consider using it. Most certainly, it would make the staff's life easier in the long run. It is our hope that by presenting this information on MC voters, the form EW-016, that the staff start using this form to assign election judges for the 2026 midterm election. A $300 fee to produce the election judge report is not sustainable for a grassroots citizen group. The board's attention to this matter would be appreciated. This EW-016 for this county and other counties were provided to them without charge. Yesterday, the Department of Justice filed a lawsuit against Maryland and 5 other states for not maintaining their voter rolls. The case of Ian Andre Roberts is a stark reminder that our Maryland voter rolls are easily corrupted by illegal foreign actors. The Washington Times has obtained unredacted copies of Mr. Roberts' voter application where he checked yes as a citizen, even though he is not a citizen. Systematic alien verification for entitlement programs, that's the SAVE Act, could verify this information. Does Frederick County use this tool to identify voters who are not citizens? We respectfully request that the Frederick County Board of Elections begin using the MD voter form for the election workers going forward so that the citizens will not have to pay $300 to verify the election judge parity on election day and early voting. Thank you.
Mr. Varick?
Okay, thank you for approving my request to speak. I've been coming to the Board of Elections meetings for over a year now, and I'm concerned about several things. First of all, President Trump has been talking about returning to paper ballots and hand counting. I haven't heard anything about this in the Board of Elections meetings. I think a contingency plan should be in place in case an executive order is signed requiring us. Instead, I've noticed 2 new voting machines have been purchased. Second, when I've gone to early voting in the past, especially the primary, the voting center has been empty, except for the election workers. This has to be costing the taxpayers a lot of money. Plus, the longer the voting period, the more opportunity for voter fraud and software manipulation. Third, the voter rolls are not accurate. With 53 million non-citizens in the U.S., there is no guarantee that they aren't voting. A good example is the one Jay mentioned, the superintendent of schools in Iowa who is registered to vote in Maryland. Maryland's one of the states that refused federal help from the Justice Department in straightening out their voter rolls. I think that all 50 of our states should take all the help they can get with voter rolls. This would help strengthen transparency, fairness, and confidence in our election process. I hope everyone's keeping up with current events. Venezuela is involved with software manipulation as far back as the Democrat primary between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. There are several people who give updates on this. Mike Lindell, Steve Bannon, Steve Stern, Emerald Robinson, they all give updates. It's a shame the mainstream media doesn't cover this very much. Actually more than 5 Venezuelan whistleblowers who engineered the manipulation have come forward. It's an amazing account of how this happened and what they've had to go through. Also, the Dominion voting machine company has been sold. According to Elon Musk, Dominion doesn't pass the smell test. In a statement from the new owner, which he changed the name to Liberty Vote, a bold historic move to transform and improve election integrity in America is why he bought it.
Thank you. And Mr. Mann? Mr. Mann?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Daniel Callahan, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, and Barbara for sitting down with us right before this meeting and going through the way the monthly registration reports are constructed, the sources of the information. That was very enlightening, and I may have more questions later, but that was a really useful session, I think, and it only took about a half an hour. I did not coordinate this with Jay, but what I want to talk about is other techniques we can use to prevent non-citizens from voting in federal elections. And I want to talk about the SAVE system. SAVE stands for Systematic Alien Verification for Entitlements Database, which has recently been opened up also to confirm whether or not a person is a citizen of the United States when they apply for voter registration. It uses a variety of inputs, including Social Security Administration databases and DHS databases. With information found already in Maryland voter application rolls and other databases, simply using the first name, the last name, date of birth, and the last 4 of the Social Security number can be used to positively identify and verify U.S. citizenship. In order to enroll, a user agency must sign a SAVE Memorandum of Agreement, and users must take an online tutorial. In other words, it's very simple. Maryland Department of Labor, various Maryland health and welfare agencies, the MVA, and we may talk a little bit about how that connection works already with you guys. And even the state lottery use this system, the SAVE system, in Maryland. States that are registered to use SAVE for voter registration, I got off their website, include the following. This is not the only ones, but just to give you an example. Arizona, Ohio, Indiana, several others. It appears from their database that even county boards can use SAVE. So I've offered that as an option both to the local board and state board as well as another way to verify citizenship of applicants. And that concludes my presentation. I am going to drop off a copy with Dan Loftus of a sample memorandum of agreement that I pulled off their website, which is what any entity would use in order to start this process. I urge you to consider this as another method of making our voting even more secure and legitimate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mann. That concludes the regular meeting of the Board of Elections. May I have a motion to adjourn the regular meeting and go into an executive session?
So moved.
We'll be going into executive session
Second.
under authority of the, I'm sorry.
That's right.
And all in favor?
Aye.
We will be going into executive session under authority of the Annotated Code of Maryland, General Provisions Article, Section 305(1), to discuss the appointment, resignation, or performance of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this body has jurisdiction, and any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. And also, we will be approving the minutes of the November closed session. During the closed session, we will be discussing the director's biannual PEP evaluation and complete that. And we're doing it in closed session because the content is confidential. Also, due to an increase in the scope and responsibilities and workload of council, we will be holding a discussion of the board council's contract, and we are discussing that in closed session because the contract also is confidential. Thank you very much for attending today.